Hello!
I'm John.
I'm Mia.
We're Lemon Knife.
Yeah.
And we're here with our next top 10.
Which is video games.
Video games.
We like video games.
Yes. These
like
are, I
games.
think in general, at least on my list, I did it as video game series. And I noted, like, what the best one was.
Oh yeah, there were a good amount of series on my list, and whenever there was a series, I named a favorite. Because some of them you'll see are not applicable as series.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's your number 10?
My number 10 is, we're just going way back to basics. Whoa. My
It's
number,
Pong.
not that far. Close enough though, Tetris. It's a classic. It's a nice, oh yes, well it's the theme song. Beautiful, beautifully done. But yeah, it's your basic puzzle game. Everything's dropping. It kept me great company when we were flying to Japan.
Oh, yes.
This one really doesn't get old. It's kept its relevance, I think. So good on
Yeah, I
Tetris.
think it's pretty much always fun to pick up and play like a minute or two of it.
One of our favorite arcade games, I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
All right, my number 10 is the Phoenix Wright games.
Ooh.
And I actually even have my Better Call Phoenix shirt on here.
Okay, very fitting.
So these are games where they're kind of very story-driven games where you're a defense attorney and you always have to, figure out who actually committed the murder and, like, present evidence to show that people's statements are wrong. And it's a world full of insane, zany people, which is maybe its biggest strength.
Would you say it's full of insane people?
I would not.
Okay.
What's your number 9?
My number 9. Yeah, great game, great game. Great series of games. And you said your favorite was the original?
My favorite is the original, yeah, because I think
choice.
the final 2 cases in it are just so strong.
My number 9 is a very old, probably out of print game I played years ago. It is called Shadow of Destiny. So this... Shadow of Destiny. So this is really the first adventure game I can remember playing, and the first, like, story-driven, going around talking to people rather than just punching people in the face game. Punching and shooting people in the face, which there are plenty of, punching people and shooting people in the face on my list. But it surrounds someone who got killed. You played someone who got killed, and he's traveling back in time to kind of, like, try to prevent his own death. And the really notable thing about it, to me at the time, was, besides the characters and everything coming back and all the eras having different styles, was the fact that this was a game where you could have 8 different endings depending on what you chose to do during the game. And so at the time I just thought this was the coolest thing ever.
Did you get all of them?
No. I probably only got one of them. I might have gotten like 2 or 3 of them. But yeah, that was the first game I can remember that was like, oh, you can change what happens, and that was always fascinating to me.
Yeah, that's always like kind of one of the cool like big like promises of games.
Absolutely.
All right, my number 9 is a party game. This is Fusion Frenzy. This is actually one of the first console games I ever like played. I played it at my neighbor's house. I was like, "Ooh, this is super cool," and I got it soon after. And actually, we've even played it recently. This is when I'm talking about it was maybe 15 years ago or something.
Oh yeah.
And it still holds up terrifically. It's just this collection of really fun standalone mini games. And they were smart enough that you can play them in this tournament mode, or you can just, like, look at the list of them, pick whatever mini game you want to play, and play them directly.
It's good stuff. You reminded me of a grave error.
Oh, yeah.
As you can see, extremely clearly, my number 8 game is Rock Band. Definitely never thought it would be Diablo 3, which is going to go to number 11. Number 11, Diablo 3. Number 8, Rock Band. Definitely going to be that way the whole time. So, yeah, obviously, I mean, I can't not love a game that put John on drums for the first time and put him on drums for the rest of his life. And just chock full of music discovery. And, the instruments are surprisingly close enough to reality for being in a board.
Especially drums.
And even more so vocals,
that's
that's, but I mean out of the instruments, drums, you can translate it over, and just so much fun too. It's a ridiculous time. We love it.
I might even say more drums than vocals, because I think you can like pass the vocals without sounding good at all.
That's true.
If you played the drums, you could like I think like if you could play all the songs by like an artist on drums in the game, I think you could just slot right into like a cover band of that artist. Like as long as it wasn't
Yeah.
like the best cover band ever of that artist. Like vocals, I could definitely see like I've passed a lot of songs on Expert that I would sound horrible singing in a karaoke bar.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it may or may not. It may show up on my list later. In the meantime, my number 8 is Phantom Dust, a weirdo Japanese game where this is on my list. I think way back when we did our board game list, I had Seasons at or near the top because it captures the Magic the Gathering style thing I love of like finding these combinations. Phantom Dust captures this great ideal of it's kind of about that, but in like a live action game. So you kind of you build this deck of abilities beforehand, and then once the actual match starts, you're kind of running around picking up these like mana crystals, using your abilities on your opponents. They're defensive abilities, so like you can like immediately block somebody. So it's
That's
kind of like a
interesting.
reflex-based game, but like with also like this like collectible card game level of planning beforehand.
That's really interesting. That's interesting to translate into a gamified thing,
Yeah.
or a video gamified thing, I guess.
Well, it does have the world's worst designed mission ever.
Oh, tell us
where
more.
it's a mission where you have like an ally, you have to keep them alive, you lose if they die. And their deck is built all around abilities that damage their own health. So it's not just you gotta keep them safe from the enemies. It's
keep them
they
safe
are
from
constantly
themselves.
casting things that like damage themselves for 2 or something. And they only have 20 health, so that is not a good mission.
No, doesn't sound like it. I haven't even played it.
Alright, what is next on Mia's list?
Classic again. We're going with the Super Mario Brothers series.
It's a me!
Mario! Which has been revived numerous times in numerous forms, but my favorite is the good old original. Nice 8-bit goodness there. It's a very addictive, just running around the platforms, hopping up and getting cubes, and I do like platforms even though I'm terrible at them. Thus, Super Mario Brothers is the epitome of that like classic platform feel.
Is it your favorite platformer?
I guess we'll have to. I guess so.
I guess we'll see.
I guess, yeah. We'll see, won't we?
Alright, my number 7 is the best cooperative game, Left 4 Dead. And there's 2 of them. And really, I would give more credit to the original because it came up with the formula, but at this point, you might as well get the second because it has all the levels of the original as well as DLC, and they fixed a couple things. This is a game where you have four people, ideally 4 humans. You can kind of get by with 3, but you definitely like want 3 or 4 humans playing this, and you're going through this world of zombies and trying to make it through the end of these missions. It's got like a great difficulty setup where you can kind of have like incredibly easy, like pretty easy, kind of difficult, and then like incredibly difficult.
What's the sweet spot for you?
We're with my like regular group of doing it, we're trying to beat all the missions on the incredibly difficult mode. So that is the sweet spot.
Fair enough.
And it's just kind of they're at a great level where they're like really hard, but like not so punishing that they don't feel like, oh, we could beat them if we do this next part just right.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of requires a lot of teamwork because there'll be things like somebody gets pounced on by a special zombie and then they're taking a ton of damage quickly unless someone else can respond to them and get that off them. So it really, like, you have to be like a super well gelled team.
And you guys are.
Yes.
And I know you want 4 humans. What if the 4th player is a pig? Not a human.
I'll have to ask Valve and get
are
back.
There any good animals to have as your 4th player? And what if you have 2 animal players? Is that?
You know, I think 2 animal players you could make it through because the zombies only want human brains, and so you'd have 2 players who aren't getting leapt on by hunters or pulled by smokers. You'd be doing pretty well.
Ooh, all right. Well, that's a cheat, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really a kind of glitch. I think Left 4 Dead 3 they're going to patch that out and have zombies that also attack, pigs. Bears or cats or whatever animals are in it.
They're gonna have to get a lot of species patched in though.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the problem.
It's going to be a 5 gigabyte update.
Sorry, guys, you're gonna have to sit through a very long update the next time you're downloading
Yep.
updates. Anyway,
We broke the system.
very serious discussion on video game
Yes.
strategy.
Here's a very serious game coming from Mia.
Zumbinis! John once asked me if you had the most powerful computer in the world, what commands would you give it first? Well, the first thing I said,
Print Zumbinis.
Zumbinis. All right, now what, Mia? Okay, play Zumbinis. Mia, this is the most powerful computer in the world. Well, I can broadcast. Really, it's coming. It's on the news programs now, you know. But anyway, this was one of the first games I remember playing. I think my mom actually gave this to me as like a homeschool assignment at the time. And then I just ended up continuing to play it.
These are fantastic. I think we even played these like in school as a kid as well.
So yeah, I think it's meant for like the introduction to logic for kids, but as an
Yeah.
adult, it totally holds up if you can get your hands on it. So and then of course you get to customize little Zumbinis,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun.
Do avoid it on Steam though. I think we
Yeah.
found a bug where it became like a certain difficulty of a certain puzzle. There was like a glitch that locked you out of progressing.
And that was a bummer because we had gotten far.
We
beat,
got
like,
pretty far. We
Yeah.
were still having a lot of fun with it. It absolutely held up. Like that's pretty impressive for a game that like 7 or 8 year olds love to like still hold
Right?
up to a
Fix
bunch of
it,
geezers
Steam.
like us.
Fix the glitch.
My number 6 is Dota 2. I feel
good
like I
choice.
can't not put a game that I've played something like 3,000 hours of on my list without
Is
ever
that a
becoming
literal
good at
number?
it. That is a literal number.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been a great use of my life.
Wait. Really?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if you were trolling me with that series.
No.
Okay, we're not talking about pigs anymore. I just wanted to
No.
confirm. Okay.
No, that's the actual number.
Wow. Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a nice kind of relaxation game where like play a game of it in the evening or something.
Oh yeah, relaxation game. Do you know what I've overheard in the bedroom while you're playing? Jimmy!
Well, it's not a relaxation game if I'm playing it with people I know.
God damn it! No! Use the weapon. Use the other weapon. No, get the potion.
That sounds more like what I would say during Left 4 Dead.
Oh, okay. Well, I know it's happened both times.
But anyway, this is a game where it's a 5-on-5 team game where there's like over 100 different kind of characters and they all like interact in interesting ways. And it has like a brutally inaccessible learning curve to the extent that I'm still terrible at it after all that time.
But it's fun still, yeah.
Yeah, but then all those things mean there's like a lot of new stuff happening every time you play it, and it's kind of like always something new.
I bet the heroes add some staying power, yeah.
Yeah, and it's at a good length where like, well, it probably would be better if the games were shorter, but like it's at kind of like a length where it's 40-minute to an hour game, so you kind of like put on some video or something in the background and then
Like a podcast, yeah.
and then it's kind of like a nice relaxation thing.
God damn it, why didn't you get the... Anyway, my number 5, we're continuing on the very serious adult games track.
Oh yes.
This is Spyro the Dragon series. We're continuing on a Spyro the Dragon, and my favorite of the... Sparks turns blue.
Dragon
Anyway,
Shrug.
I loved these games when I was a kid. My favorite is The Year of the Dragon, which is the one I had when I was a kid, and then we played it again fairly
That's the
recently.
third
whole
one?
series. That's the third one. Yep. And I still hummed along with all the stupid soundtracks, and but it's a genuinely fun game, like for kids and adults. You know, running around bashing things, doing mindless things. There's just giant worlds, all sorts of little quests to do. I mean, that's always an honorable mention goes to Guild Wars for that same aspect of
yeah.
just like doing a bunch of things around the worlds, but building to one thing.
Oh right, my number 5 is kind of a cheat because
Oh.
this is one like disc.
What's
like
the cheat code?
There is no cow level. I think that's a cheat code of some sort and something. This all came on one disc, but it kind of is several separate games. So this is the Orange Box, which is a I don't know, maybe PC and Xbox 360 release, where it came with Portal, which is just a like great written like puzzle solving game with the portals and the cake and the malignant AI. It came with the Half-Life games, which are solid like very narrative shooters, and it came with Team Fortress 2, one of the best like online multiplayer shooters ever, where all the classes are just like so distinct, and you kind of need to like work well together as a team, and they play so differently that like you could easily play like hundreds of hours without ever liking like one of the classes or playing it much. Like I played tons of that game, and I basically never played as a sniper in it. There were just like, even just within a few classes, there's so much depth that it was a lot of fun.
Do you have a particular favorite within the Orange Box?
Probably Team Fortress, but I mean, it's tough to say because Portal is like a fantastic, like perfectly curated experience that lasts, 8 to 10 hours or something. And then Team Fortress 2 is like a multiplayer game where, you could play it endlessly.
Portal could have easily ended up on this list if I had finished it, because I'm a good amount of levels in and I really enjoyed it, but until I get to the end, I'm not going to put it on a list, but you could very well see a comment at it saying, hey, by the way, I'd like to apologize to Tetris, but,
Yes.
Is that you then?
Yes.
All right, sorry. My number 4 game is another very, very long ago game. I think this was released in something like 1996?
This game's name would be a good name for a video game store back in the day.
Yeah, Discworld. It'd also be a really good name for a book series that it was based on.
Yup.
Wouldn't that be shocking? So this is the Discworld video game, and again, this was PlayStation 2. It was released, something like 1996. So a few things make this game. First of all, even if you don't have any knowledge of the Pratchett books, it is a fantastically constructed puzzle game where, obviously very, very funny, you're talking to a bunch of characters kind of building towards the final battle.
Was it written by Pratchett?
He collaborated with it, yes.
So it still had like funny people writing it.
Oh yeah, like it was, and Rincewind is voiced by Eric Idle, so like, a lot of funny people involved. And Rincewind is my favorite character. My favorite book character is the person you get to control in this game. I think the plot is loosely based on Guards, if I remember. And so you're talking to a bunch of people collecting some objects that interact with other things. You have to figure out what object to use where.
Okay,
Lots
so
of good
like
conversation.
One of those adventure games.
Yeah, but like way back when, very funny. Obviously, great theme for me with being a big Pratchett fan, and I would love to relocate this game somehow. I'm sure it's out on eBay or something. I wonder if my dad still has him in the house. I'm gonna have to. What's next, John?
All right, this one is also kind of a cheat, less so, because these are all the same game series, but this is the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Oh, is that so?
Which we have been obsessively playing recently. It has Halos 1, 2, 3, 4, Halo Reach, Halo ODST, so just like...
all wonderful.
Tons of Halo games on there. You can play through all the campaigns with lots of cool levels. This is just like a super foundational shooter. It's actually the first M-rated game my parents let me get way back in the day when I was a teenager. So they're like, oh, you're shooting aliens, you're defending the Earth,
Yeah, really outside of the like punching a bunch of aliens, it could very well have just been a T game.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, that's different from Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah.
So I had so I had the original Halo way back when, and then I got Halo 2, Halo 3, played a ton of their multiplayer, and then it was probably about 10 years of me not really playing any Halo. And now recently we got the Master Chief Collection, or even we dug it out from a cabinet. And
ever since.
Yes, and we played through all the co-op campaigns, played a ton of multiplayer online.
And for the rest of our lives, we will be playing Halo on a daily basis. We will be 90 years old. We will somehow have kept our Xbox. Where are you gonna get that grunt? Where's the grunt go? Oh,
Mia.
Oh, what?
Mia, you shot me.
Oh, my darn hand. It's arthritis, I can't.
I want a divorce. You been saying that for the past 60 years.
60 years. Anyway. Well, now I have questions about our relationship stability. All right. This game showed up on John's list before, or rather the series of games. This is the Phoenix Wright series. My favorite is also the original. And John kind of went over this already. I don't feel like he said most of what I would have said. So, yeah, great series of games. Get them. Get them. Oh, great music, I think, is the thing you neglected to mention.
Oh, yeah,
great
that's
soundtrack.
Especially in the original, yeah.
Big time.
Props to the Western Guides theme.
All
Alright, this is a game series I know is on Mia's list, and not just because I just saw it there. This is the Pokemon games.
Hey!
These are, like, really the first games I ever played in any form, where, like, I think as a first grader or something, I had Pokemon, like, Blue was the first, like, Game Boy game I ever had, way back on the original clunky gray
color
Game Boy. Yep. And I kind of continued to follow the series since then. Recently, we've gotten into playing them. That's not even that recently, but like we've been playing through several of them.
Oh yeah.
I think they hold up, especially just like what I really like in them is the sense of like exploring the world. Like there's always just like so much out there, so many different kind of like climates and environments, and you're just kind of wandering around.
And your favorite is Alpha Sapphire?
Yes, and my favorite is Alpha Sapphire because the world of Ruby and Sapphire is like I think my favorite of the worlds.
Which is pretty cool because one of mine is also Alpha Sapphire. Yeah, I won't even spoil it. Yes, my number 2 is Pokemon. My other favorite is Yellow. I mean, first of all,
from
Pikachu.
classicness, yes.
And second of all, just like it's such a charming experience. I mean, it's very difficult compared to if you go back to the remasters. Like it is a great quality shift once you get out there.
Yeah, if you're fighting the like rock guy, no one is going to tell you like, oh, go back to this route and get a fighting type and you'll beat him. They're just going to let you like fail at him over and over.
And be like, what am I supposed to do? You'll probably be fighting like 50 Geodudes.
Yeah. But yeah, then Alpha Sapphire has the best of those worlds kind of in terms of environment.
Yes.
And then like after you finish the game, it has one of the best like post-game things in terms of like all these kind of older Pokemon open up.
Absolutely. Yeah, you kind of lost that in some of the other ones of that remaster as well, because like, the one that we played most recently, what is it, X and Y? That was the remaster. All that really happened.
It wasn't a remaster.
Or well, X and Y then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. All that really happened was here's a battle house. Have fun. I hope you like battles. Battle.
I think there was a way that opens up where you catch old Pokemon.
Just so
that nobody who happens to watch this comments on that.
Oh, sorry. No, just watch. They've all paused right before. It's not the same as like
all those worlds and kind of Alpha Sapphire where you can see what you haven't caught. Like, it's just a very cool system there.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, my number 2 is the Elder Scrolls series, and really in specific Morrowind's. Like, if Morrowind didn't exist, I don't think the other 2 would have made my top 10, but they're also good. So Morrowind was just like this masterpiece of writing in that it thrusts you into this bizarre world. Everyone, unlike a lot of the games, everyone you meet kind of treats you with vague scorn. Like you're just kind of this like, what are you doing here,
peasant.
Outlander? Yeah. Oh, you're worse than a peasant. You're an immigrant.
Oh. Ooh. Oh.
And you're probably not a dark elf, the main race there. And there's just all these interesting world-building tensions, like the Imperials are coming in and they're like taking over parts of it. So normally that would make them seem like the villains or something. But then one of the main things they're also doing is trying to stop the traditional cultural practice of like the slavery that the Dark Elves are practicing a lot. So it's kind of like lots of things conflicting. Your main quest sees you like fulfilling this prophecy, and there are a lot of like interesting things you do along the way to that. It's just like a great main quest, a like whole huge world. Like there's a lot of places where you can only pick one of several factions, so you kind of even have to play it several times to get everything out of it. And just massive, really alien feeling world. Like just the architecture feels so unusual. It just feels like a completely different like planet.
And don't forget the memes.
And the memes.
You. You
violated the law.
Stop.
You violated the law.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what's
I
your
had that
number
right?
one?
Okay, good.
That's from Elder Scrolls, yeah.
Yeah. We already kind of discussed this. My number one is Halo.
Oh,
the Halo
interesting.
series. Did you name a favorite? Mine is Halo 3.
I did not. I think I would go with Halo 2 because I like the campaign more than Halo 3, and I like the multiplayer about the same.
It's like gameplay. I feel like Pokemon might have taken the top spot if it weren't for just like the worlds and the stories and all the different characterizations in Halo. There's a lot going on. There's the comic relief. There's the there's a lot of comic relief.
I know what the ladies like.
Fade in subtitles. Ladies like grinding treads. Ladies like superior firepower. Oh, this is it, baby. Hold me. The grunts. If you're gonna play Halo 5, the reason to play Halo 5 is the grunt moments. Otherwise, don't play Halo 5.
And downing a Kraken, that was cool.
Oh yeah. No, that's true. All right, what is
my number one will not surprise you. Also, it is Rock Band. With
Very
the best
good.
being Rock Band 2 because of having solos on everything and just the best overall soundtrack. But these are, the full instrument things, and these are just great. I love these on so many levels because they're the thing that kind of got me into real life drumming.
That's big,
and really
yes.
taught me everything I know about real life drumming. They're just great in so many settings. Like I play them as kind of like a solo challenging thing where I'm trying to gold star difficult songs on drums. They work well as kind of a zany activity for the two of us, where we're one of us at a time is trying to both do vocals in their instrument and just flailing around with that and doing characters and accents.
Yes, the microphone is taped to a
broom.
dustpan with a, but it does the job, and it's got a little zip tie clinging it to the top.
It works well if you have a group of people
Yes.
just trying to like do well on the songs. It works well if you bring it out at like a party with just a wide variety of people. It's just great in every setting. They just keep releasing more songs into it. I have way too many songs, and just the only game that has actually gotten me to take up a new hobby. So
I mean, that's an enormous reason. Yes.
Can't not rank it number one.
Well done, Rock Band.
All right, that is our video game
List.